Welcome to the Doctor's Mentor Show. If you believe that medicine is an industry and not a profession, if you enjoy submitting complex reimbursement claims, or you would do another residency just for fun, be advised, you're about to be offended. You should probably leave now.
All this talk about mentoring doctors is ridiculous. I thought doctors learned to do everything better than everyone else the first year of medical school. At least that's the way they act.
If you love assisting patients with vitality breakthroughs, if the right to practice medicine without interference is important, and you want expert tips for practice freedom and profits to support your epic life, welcome aboard and prepare to be blown away. The Doctor's Mentor Show starts now. Here's your host, Dr. Lolis Babb.
Several years ago, I did a radio interview on Lolis Babb's show, The Ladies' Room with Lolis, where we discussed the relationship between directed thought and a person's results. One of the listeners was John Henry McDonald, a delightful austenite and highly successful businessman who implements this concept in a very unique and successful way. John Henry and I had lunch, and he explained a strategy he calls his 21-day vision quest that over time, more often than not, gives John Henry the exact results he envisions. Guess what? It works. I tried it, and now I too engage in this magical process during the last quarter of each year.
Today's topic:
legacy.
Let's walk through John Henry McDonald's Vision Quest process so you can try it out this year. But before we do that, have you ever sliced arugula? Not arugula, the lettuce, but the pastry, arugula, or maybe a jelly roll or other laminated puff pastry. Or maybe you've layered meat and cheese slices and rolled them up and sliced them into pinwheels for a party or for your child's lunch. Imagine looking at a slice of your life this way. Your life is like a jelly roll. It's a multi-layered treat that if you rolled it up would only be so long, and that if you sliced it in cross-section, you could examine a slice of your life and you could look at each of those layers that make up your life. That's exactly how John Henry starts his 21-day process. He examines the current state of the layers of his life with gratitude. John Henry personally focuses on 5 areas: spiritual, emotional, mental, physical, and fiscal. I personally use spiritual growth, emotional growth, mental growth, awareness, physical vitality, soulmate, family and friends, finances and security. That's 8 areas. Step 1 then is to simply make a list of the layers of your life that you feel comfortable examining. Once you have that, we can begin John Henry's Vision Quest. It's a writing adventure. You'll need a few more things, so you might want to pause this after you hear the next part so that you can gather these things together to be successful. The Vision Quest, it's an exercise in possibilities, not probabilities. When you write, you are crafting the words that describe your wildest dreams. The idea is to unleash your imagination and really think big, rich fantasies. Many folks are practiced at envisioning their worst financial and relationship nightmares in vivid colors, and most of us benefit from additional practice at allowing ourselves rich, colorful, lucid dreams of success. So the Vision Quest uses childlike wonder to imagine the answer to one question: what is possible? Since this is a writing adventure, you'll need a writing tool and a notebook or journal to write in. If you choose an electronic method, please use a stylus so you feel the motion of pen on paper as you proceed for the next 21 days. If you use a physical journal, and I highly recommend either this or a 3-ring binder, make sure it has enough pages that you can use it as your daily journal for the rest of the coming year, because years later, you're going to look back on these and you will be so amazed. I've seen John Henry's journals from the last 30 years, and it is amazing what has come to him, almost exactly what he put in the journals. So here's your map to your Vision Quest. Day 1, examine each of the areas in a slice of your life with wonder and gratitude at what has come to you as if by magic this past year. John Henry writes down the 5 areas previously mentioned: spiritual, emotional, mental, physical, and fiscal. Then write down all of the things for which you are grateful for in each area, all of the unexpected blessings. For example, under physical, if you've outlived a serious health challenge this year, you might write something like, I'm grateful for winning my race with cancer. Do this for each area. In the area of spiritual, it might be something like, I'm grateful that I study God's Word daily with my family. Under fiscal, it might be, I am thrilled that our company grew by 10% and I could leverage my bonuses into a once-in-a-lifetime vacation with my family. Under physical, it might be, I'm so excited that I'm now a certified scuba diver and that I swam with a minke whale on one of my dives. Under emotional, a possibility is, I'm so grateful that my husband and I made time for date nights almost every week this year. Boy, did that spark some passion. Get specific with your memories and your gratitude on day 1. On day 2, all the way through day 21, you'll look at those same layers of your life, and in each layer, imagine desires and possibilities with an attitude of surprise, wonder, and delight. This is your opportunity to do what the character Eames encouraged Arthur to do in one of the first gunfire exchanges in the movie Inception. You mustn't be afraid to dream a little bigger, darling. So take the lid off and unleash your vivid imagination as you dream in each realm of your life. Forget everything else that will pop up at this time to thwart your dreams. Those are just forms of resistance. Author Steven Pressfield summed it up this way. The dream comes first. The resistance is second. Resistance is the equal and opposite reaction of nature to the new thing that you and I are called to bring forth out of nothing. Now, some folks who are practiced at stretching their imagination muscles will have absolutely no difficulty erasing all the concerns for how much time a worthwhile dream might take to unfold, and will be able to see themselves enjoying the fantasy experience. If you're like most folks, it may help to cut out pictures from magazines or snip digital images and add to your Vision Quest journal. Evernote works pretty well for this. This technique works great if there is a particular engagement ring you would be thrilled to have on your finger during this year. Or perhaps there's an exotic travel locale you'd like to explore. Snip a picture for your physical or virtual journal and put it under the appropriate layer of your life during the day during days 2 through 21 of the 21-day Vision Quest. John Henry and many other high achievers who do a similar exercise, like Brendan Burchard, they put significant time into this exercise every day. Like Brendan Burchard blocks off a month where he does nothing but review and then plan for the coming year. So John Henry also spends a good part of days, but he doesn't fix the time. He doesn't say, I'm going to spend all day, every day for the next 30 days doing this. Instead, he uses the time at hand. Now, resistance may appear as a voice in your head that tells you, I don't have enough time to do this Vision Quest thing right this year. I'll wait until next year. I give you full permission to reject that voice of resistance and be like Moses. Do you remember when God appeared to Moses in the burning bush and commanded him to go talk to Pharaoh and convince him to release the Jews from slavery? Now, Moses, if you'll recall, killed an Egyptian and had lived as a fugitive for years in the wilderness. He'd run away from Egypt. To Moses, God's command seemed totally impossible. Do you remember what God said to Moses when Moses asked, what if they won't believe me or listen to me? God asked Moses one question. What is that in your hand? God then showed Moses how to use the staff in his hand to prove to Pharaoh that Moses had actually had a conversation with God. You have full permission to use the time you have at hand each day for this quest. Next year, as you look back on this 21-day Vision Quest with gratitude at what has come into each area of your life as if by magic, you will be so grateful you used the time you had at hand each day to do this, no matter if it is 5 minutes on day 5 and you only wrote down one word under each category, or if it was all day on day 17. Repeat this process of dreaming big about each layer of your life for the time you gift yourself each day for days 2 through 21. The magic is in not skipping a single day. Be faithful and keep your commitment to yourself to at least capture one idea for each layer of your life each day. This will assist you in developing your persistence, which is another intellectual muscle most adults, unless they're champions, fail to exercise regularly. So even if one day you're feeling overwhelmed and you only write down terrific under the emotional growth layer, that's enough. Celebrate that you did it. On another day, you might surprise and delight yourself feeling the accomplishment of writing a detailed account of what it looks like, smells like, and feels like to visit that travel destination. Some days your pen almost seems to write by itself for hours when you get into the flow and loose those reins on your imagination. Celebrate that too. The celebration of each day's writing, that's a rich reward you gift to yourself each day when you finish writing so that you make a new habit and reward yourself for the new habit you're creating. Now, at the end of the 21 days, your wildest dreams will boil down to 10 or 12 desired outcomes that you'll enjoy unfolding during the coming year. And as you move into the year, continue your new habit of writing each day and rewarding yourself by celebration. So each day in the new year, you're going to write about each layer of your life. Only from here on out, you're going to restate the desired outcome for that layer of your life and spend a moment feeling the power of what you imagined during the 21-day vision quest. Then write a small action step that you commit to take that day toward each of these desired outcomes. So here's an example. Let's go back to the engagement ring example. It's February 21st and you open your Vision Quest journal. You page through the journal, feeling the impact of each picture and each word that you recorded in the journal, especially that brilliant photo of the ring on the finger. By the time you get to the page for today's writing on February 21st, you're already feeling excited about possibility. Under soulmate, or whatever category you choose to represent that one special relationship in your life, it might fall under emotional. You write, I am so happy and grateful that I've become the lady who an equally awesome and amazing man is putting a ring of engagement on my finger. This would be an example of the daily rewrite of that desired outcome. You're going to do that every day for those 10 or 12 desired outcomes in the appropriate categories they fall. Then you might continue. My heart is so full of love for myself and for my new fiance as we begin imagining what is possible as we create our lifelong relationship. And then finally, you might write, today I will surprise him with an invitation to join me at the park after work. I can text him and get his agreement to meet me there by the big tree where we usually meet to walk the dog. But instead of me actually being right there, I'll send him another text when he arrives, telling him that the game's hide and seek and that I'm hidden and that when he finds me, he'll get an exciting reward. Then go on and write down what that reward might be. It might just be a big hug and a kiss. It might be treating him to dinner. It might be something else. So read what you wrote with a thankful feeling of what already is on its way to you and try to really capture the joyful, grateful feeling of the ring already on your finger. That's what you're doing during the coming year. You see, you don't have these wildly, as if by magic, experiences already in your life that you desire because you're not the person yet who you have to become to enjoy those fully. And that's what this process does. It helps you become that person so you get the rich rewards of everything you desire and deserve. So it's really almost impossible to describe to you the mystery and the wonder and the power that you feel when you complete the 21-day vision quest. And then you continue to journal each day with the action steps needed to achieve the desired outcome. So there it is. Consider yourself an apprentice magician. I, a practicing magician, have just shared the secret behind the magic of one of my most successful tricks that I learned from my mentor, the master magician, John Henry McDonald. I want to know what appears in your life as if by magic as you begin to develop your skills at the 21-day vision quest. By all means, as you continue to refine your version of this magic and it becomes one of your very best tricks, and as you look back over year after year of amazing vision quest journals and marvel at how, more often than not, things have unfolded in unbelievably amazing ways, just like what you captured in your journal, feel free to pass this magic on to your proteges. And please, attribute the trick to John Henry McDonald, who continues to infuse such fun, grace, and ease into his vision quest each year. You can't help but getting caught up in the delight when you see the magic unfold in your own life.
Your next step.
So today, your first step is to secure the journal and writing implement that will serve you best. Then, examine a slice of your life and determine what your layers are that you will write about each day. After that, get started with day one. Remember, you have all the time you need already at hand to work your own magic.
There's more to explore at thedoctorsmentor.com.
Are you stopping at a hospital? Hello? Don't you know that hospitals are one of the sickest places on the planet? Don't touch anything in there and get out as fast as you can.